You know she's gonna slay in more ways than one. Hello guys, it's Alan the Collector, and for this review we're taking a look at the ultimate Model 3 generative android, or M3GAN, from the movie M3GAN by Neca. And we have some pretty simple packaging. The front features the movie poster showing off M3GAN looking like she's up to no good, and then on the bottom we just get a logo from the film. The back of the packaging has a whole bunch of product images of all the ways you can pose and display M3GAN. We also get a list of all the accessories included. The side of the packaging, more promotional art. The top, another logo. The bottom, the folks at Neca that we have to thank. And then finally, when we get to opening the packaging, we get a better look at our new best friend. For a robot gone bad, she's looking pretty good, but there's only one way to truly find out. So let's go ahead and bust this bot out of the box. And now that we have M3GAN straight off the assembly line, I have to say, Neca did a pretty good job. It's a decent little figure. It looks like all the right details from the film have been captured here. And even though she's a smaller figure, let's see if the accessory count sweetens the deal for this murderous android. Now M3GAN comes with a decent amount. We get 3 alternate heads, including 1 battle damaged and 1 exposed, 6 additional hands, some face plates to go on that exposed head, a clean and bloody paper cutter, 1 hammer, 1 screwdriver, and a high-powered nail gun. Now getting back to M3GAN, we're typically used to getting more detailed figures from Neca. M3GAN here though is sculpted a bit more simply, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Piercing blue eyes, eyeshadow, a nice spray of red paint for the blush. There's definitely an uncanny vibe in it, but it's sculpted well. The hair is sculpted pretty decently as well. I would have preferred if there was a bit more distinct highlights in it, but what we have works well enough. The sculpt of this hair falls very naturally, although because of that, it will hinder articulation just a bit. I like this Union Jack-esque necktie that she has. It kind of reminds me of something you'd find on an American Girl doll, you know, if it was designed by Skynet. We have a pretty decent dress. It's sculpted in a beige plastic. The folds do look natural, but I would have preferred if we even had a slight dry brushing of a darker brown or a black, just to bring them out a bit more. We even got little buttons sculpted up top. That sculpt continues to the back, very nice. The most detailed aspect about this figure is going to be her sleeves. They're molded in gray plastic, but Neca managed to paint the white stripes along them. If you look really closely, you can see how it's not the cleanest job in the world, but from a distance, it'll work. Her legs are sculpted well. They're molded in a white plastic to simulate the leggings she was wearing in the film. And then when we get to the feet, we have some glossy blue paint for the dress shoes. It's painted on pretty cleanly, there's no paint bleed. And then when we get to the bottom, we have this beige paint. It's interesting how Neca sculpted the tread on the right shoe, but on the left shoe we just get some legal details. And now that we have the sculpt out of the way, you guys know what time it is.
Hammer time!
You know, because she comes with this hammer. We get tans for the handle and then a gunmetal gray here up top. It'll fit in her hands, but first we gotta swap them out. And M3GAN looks pretty good holding this hammer either in 2 hands or wielding it in 1, just like she did in the movie when she was on the attack. It's really not much to write home about. One of the simplest accessories she comes with, but honestly, what's a hammer without a few nails? Or in this case, a nail gun. Pretty good segue, huh?
No.
The nail gun is easily my favorite accessory that comes with this set, and comes in 2 parts, one molded in black, the other molded in a lime green color, but there's some black paint accents on top of that. I also dig this bit of silver paint for the nails inside, and it's got all the tech details that we saw in the movie. You could probably put an item like this in a lot of different displays if you use your imagination. And with a well-defined grip, we will be able to place it in M3GAN's hands pretty easily. M3GAN looks pretty good holding it. Her gripping hands have vertical hinges, so she will be able to hold it well. So whether M3GAN's helping you out with some home improvement or she's helping settle arguments with your neighbors, you won't go wrong with this high-powered nail gun. And if you need some help around the office, she also comes with the blade of a paper cutter. It's a pretty simple accessory. We get a long curved blade painted in silver with the black handle. She used this when going after the CEO of Funky Toys in the movie. So you know when she puts it in her hands, you know she's gonna slay in more ways than one. Yep, that's gonna leave a mark. Just like in the film, if you want to play up the creepier aspects of M3GAN's character, you can pose her along with this bloodier version of the paper cutter she comes included with. It shares the same exact sculpt as the original one we had her holding. This one just has some red paint smeared along the blade. It's honestly not the most exciting addition in the world, but it was enough to distract you from the fact that I switched out M3GAN's head sculpt, and you probably didn't even notice. As you can see, the original head she comes packaged with has more of a gentle smile, while this new one has more of a neutral expression, like she's been reset to factory settings, or if we're being honest, like she's about to hurt someone. It's not the worst inclusion in the world, but I think this figure would have definitely benefited from a more noticeably different expression. Although if I'm being honest with this neutral expression, it looks like M3GAN is ready to bond with the little girl in need, just like in the movie, and it's a good thing that we have this Newt figure from the Aliens line. And by the looks of her, she could definitely use a friend. So go on M3GAN, go on, make her feel better. Ah, that's better. That's exactly what I like to see. The beginning of a beautiful friendship. Wait a minute. M3GAN, what are you hiding behind your back? Yeah, we can't be having that. Newt, I know you were just trying to make friends, but M3GAN, I want you to meet one of my friends.
His name is Bruce.
I wasn't playing. Bruce, why don't you take a little off the top?
Groovy.
Wait!
Alright, Bruce, that's enough. I think she's down.
You ungrateful little
Ugh. Now this is definitely what I like to see. This battle damage head sculpt is awesome. I love all the details Neca managed to capture in it, especially when it comes to that gash going right through her face. We have some charred bits of plastic at the edges, and then what looks to be exposed metal underneath, but honestly it looks a little fleshy, like she's actually bleeding. That detail goes right down to the side of her cheek, and then I love the expression that we're getting on her face. She looks intense. The black paint that we get for her runny eyeshadow certainly helps, and we get just a little bit of attitude with some teeth showing through those lips. As you can see, the front of her hair has been ripped out, and the hair she has remaining is very unkept. It doesn't nearly have the volume the last sculpt did. And from the looks of it, this bot is out for blood. Newt, what are you still doing here?
accentuate the positive.
Get away from her, you
Thanks, Ripley. I don't know what we would have done without you and the power loader. But let's get back to the review. It looked like she took quite a hit. That power loader ripped her entire face off. Now we get to experience all the different details we didn't get to see closely in the film. The only thing human about this head sculpt now are the eyes. I love the copper paint that they included here for the titanium metal alloy she's made out of. I wish they did a better job of matching it with some of the other copper details that we get along the face. The back of her head has this unique turquoise color. We get more of those tech details, lots of vents and different ports. Neca even sculpted a different neck for M3GAN. But the interesting thing about this head sculpt is that we actually get some face plates to go with it. The only difference that I can tell here is that the eyes are crazier just by a bit, and there seems to be maybe a little bit of battle damage. It does swap out pretty well. All we have to do is unclip the face. Your mileage may vary when it comes to how well this battle damage faceplate fits on her head. I had a bit of trouble clipping mine on securely, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere for now. It doesn't have too much of a difference from that cleaner version that we get, but it is actually kind of noticeable. So if you want a slightly different, maybe crazier look, you won't go wrong with this one either. But there is one more feature just hiding beneath this faceplate. We get to see all the inner workings of that robotic head, from the CPU in the middle to these dots of gold paint for the sensors behind her eyes. It's honestly a very elegant design. My only gripe is that the cube-like CPU right in the middle of her face has a hole in it. That's ultimately how they managed to deactivate M3GAN in the film.
I'm the new primary user now. Me.
Nope, we're not doing this again. M3GAN, I want to show you something. It's the final accessory that comes with this set. It's a screwdriver, and I want you to focus right on the tip. Look at all the details Neca managed to capture for an accessory so small, with the silver, yellow, and black paint, and just like in the film, the reason why Neca sculpted that hole in the CPU is so that we could plug the screwdriver right in it so we can replicate how M3GAN was deactivated in the movie. We do need to wrap up this review and get to a size comparison. I guess it's a good thing that I always carry around an extra skin mask and a blonde wig.
It's insane, right?
You know me, I just like to have fun. And then we just gotta put this on. There we go, good as new. So in the 7-inch scale, M3GAN stands just over 5 inches tall, but I think she'll fit in with 6-inch figures like the teens you might find in the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Beast Morphers. She'll be shorter than most standard Marvel Legends like Dr. Doom, Iron Man, Ultron, and Vision. The same is true for the Army Builders in the G.I. Joe Classified line. I think she works well with our Stranger Things kid than a Demogorgon by McFarlane Toys, and she'll tower over most Muppets by Diamond Select. She's about the same height as NECA's Style Guide TMNT cartoon figures. And here she is next to some ultimate horror icons from NECA, as well as Chucky, Tiffany, Annabelle, and an Evil Dead demon spawn child, also by NECA. And then, as always, here's how she looks under black light. I wasn't expecting anything, but the hair and the paint actually reacts to the light. Oh shoot.
I'll tear your head right off your neck.
So as for my final thoughts, this is a pretty fun figure. M3GAN may be small, but she has every detail that you could want from the film. The accessories are well done, and she has just enough head swap options to keep things interesting and to replicate all of her looks on the big screen. It's always a good day when Neca gives us figures from newer horror movies, and with the second M3GAN film on the horizon, I feel like we could see a lot more. You can find this figure at Target and Walmart for about $35, a bit pricey for the size, but if you do grab it, I think you'll also agree that Neca nailed it. But that'll do it for this review. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if so, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share my video if you think others might find it entertaining. It does help out a lot. Be sure to stick around for a gallery at the end, and as always, collect responsibly.